Big Sales Power Hour. As we lead into Memorial Day weekend, we'll be off Monday. By the way, Tuesday, we already got it lined up. Kevin Frazier from Entertainment Tonight, a man I worked with at Fox Sports when we were there on the Fox lot. Our dear friend. God, I've known Kevin Frazier 24 years. He has to be at Entertainment Tonight at least 15 years now. God, me and him. He goes, when do you need me, Sills? Man, I love that guy. We've been friends. We started, Tony Bruno, myself and him, we started Fox Sports Radio. I was the first hire in the history of the network. Tony was second. And Kevin Frazier, I think after Fox Sports Radio, I think Kevin went to Fox and then he went to Entertainment Tonight. He says, Sills, man, trying to get the columns all set up for like best foreign film, independent film, getting these names. You think you were getting ready for the NHL Stanley Cup Finals. I'm like, I get it, man. I would never want to be involved in something like that. By the way, we're going to talk a little Nick Sirianni here in a second. I want to throw a stat at you here. Who has been the biggest winner from the 2020 quarterback class? Who's been the biggest winner? Who has the most wins? Oh, wait. Oh, interesting. I don't know why those numbers are wrong. Oh, it's got to be because of postseason. Okay, well. Oh, that's right. Jalen didn't play that first year like that. You're right. Here are the top winners from the 2020 quarterback class. Jalen Hurts is 23-11. Tua Tagovailoa, 21-13. Joe Burrow's 24-17-1. Herbert's 25-24. I got to tell you, that's a pretty good quarterback class. Every guy's got an over 500 winning record. That's not bad. And if you think of Burrow had to go into a shitty situation because it's Cincinnati. That's, if you're looking at that class, that 2000 class, would we not agree that a Super Bowl is going to come out of this class with one of these quarterbacks? Right? Hurts, Tua, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert. Someone's going to win a Super Bowl. Shit, two of the guys have already been to Super Bowls. Burrow and Hurts, right? Both of them almost won it. This is a pretty good class. And to make what Jalen's doing, Jalen wasn't a first rounder. These other dudes were first rounders. That's pretty impressive. That's a good-looking group. That's what I'm talking about when you're talking about a good quarterback class. That's got to be one of the better classes that we've seen in recent memory. Plus, Hurts had to revive a team from 4-11-1. Yes. Yeah. And the chaos in the front office and the quarterback situation and the money and all that and the bitching and all. Yeah, the Alshon Jeffries kind of shit that were. This guy sucks. I hate him so much. I hate that guy. Dude, you're a wide receiver. Shut up and play. And maybe it's because he dropped that pass in New Orleans. Hey, guys. Maybe it's because he dropped that pass in New Orleans. That'll always get on that guy's ass. I swear. Dude, I know I've brought this up numerous times. I'll do it one more time. I sat on my couch and I said this. That dude drops that pass, Nick Foles is going to be traded. And that's what happened. If that dude catches that pass, Carson Wentz is traded. the whole franchise, what would have been for the franchise if they had gone down the other route and kept Foles. You know that they thought that. He drafted both guys. One guy was an MVP. Okay? Dude, he catches that pass and you make it to another NFC title game? You tell me. Hey, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you truly believe would Howie Roseman have moved off of Nick Foles if he had gotten to 2 straight NFC title games? Would they have still moved off him if he got to 2 NFC title games in a row? Do you think? No? Hell no, says Tone. Okay? Yo, I don't think so. Hey. Foles would have been quarterback number 1. Dude, look at that decision right there. That decision. Okay, obviously, the news of the day. I'm going to get to the coaches. I saw Russ Tucker rank these guys. Sorry, Ross. I know you get a paycheck from the Eagles and WIP. But, dude, not here. We can't have that. We can't have that. And I love Ross Tucker. He's been on the show a boatload of times. Can't have Nick Sirianni's the 5th best coach or whatever hell he had him. I was like, come on, guy. He's a cheerleader. I think he's doing good things. I'm not, but he's no Sean McVay. Let's not get crazy here. Okay? He has no influence on the offense. He has no influence on the coaching staff. He has no influence on the culture. He's a Pied Piper. Just like one of your reporters in Philadelphia said, he still has to work on himself in the culture. Look, but he knows how to maneuver around the front office. He's doing a good job. He's not in the way. And dude, guys get in the way. Hey, before I move on and we go to this list, how many people believe this about Josh McDaniel? You know, Davante Adams, he has built up equity in the building so that he gets to sit there and he gets to really have an opinion. Seals, their skill in not screwing it up. Very true. Very true. Their skill in that. Hey, how many people believe that this guy here, coming from the Belichick tree where everything is locked down, where he's saying, you know, Davante Adams has built up that kind of equity where he can make any kind of comments he wants. Does anybody believe him? I don't believe you, dude. You didn't act that way in Denver. You didn't come from a coaching staff that believes in that. You come from our way. Shit, man. You kicked Tom Brady in the teeth in New England. And I'm supposed to believe that you run an organization in Las Vegas, now with the Raiders, that you give the players, quote, autonomy to say what they feel? Do you actually believe that? Who in their right? This is the kind of bullshit on why Josh McDaniels is failing as a head coach, because no one believes you. No one believes that shit. They didn't respect Tom Brady at the end. They didn't want Tom Brady or Gronk making any comments, but now McDaniels has got an epiphany here, and he runs his ship differently in Las Vegas. Really? No, here's the truth. He didn't want to shit on his best player, and he didn't want his best player knowing that he's a diva, and he's bitching in May right now to go south on him and not want to be in the building and start doing things that maybe were counterproductive to the Raiders' success. It was self-preservation is the only reason he said that shit. Come on, man. Hey, I will say this, though. Since Tom Brady's minority owner now of the Raiders, Jimmy Garoppolo, man, he ain't the guy. You think Brady dusted off and goes, you know what? I'll come out. Play a little ball here for the Raiders. Let's see what we got here. Let's go. You got an owner throwing the ball around the yard. All of a sudden, one weekend, there's number 12. You're like, I thought they retired that number. Is that Ken Stabler? No, it's Tom Brady. What? He's a minority owner. He's a minority owner, man. Can I tell you why hey, real quick, again, I'm going to move on here. Can I tell you why I think Brady's the minority owner of the Raiders? I think the NFL is going to try to figure a way to get that team away from Mark Davis. I do. I think to get the Davis family once and for all out of the NFL, what a better way to get that guy out of the NFL than to have Tom Brady be the owner of the Raiders. It's a great way to get him out of there. Something goes sideways, they vote him out. There's another situation. Look at the situations that they had. One player kills someone, DUI, John Gruden, all that shit with the Al Davis in the day and all that. What a great way to get rid of Mark Davis and give the team to Tom Brady. And Tom Brady's the managing general partner. Okay. What happens if Mark Davis passes away? Hey, I'll tell you this, Yale. There'll be a really unfortunate barber out there who was that guy on the what was that? It wasn't the Munsters. It was, what was it? Maybe it was the Addams Family. Dude, he's got a haircut like that one kid on the Addams Family. I mean, every time I see Mark Davis, man, I keep always seeing the Addams Family. I don't know, man. That guy's got a really weird haircut. I mean, it looks like he's something out of the Addams Family. Like the mortician, what's his name's kid? Holy cow. All right, let me do this here. Best coaches in the National Football. What's his name there? Mark Davis looks like a 10-year-old that woke up from a 50-year-long. You're saying he's Rip Van Winkle? He changed it, I think. He changed his haircut. Pugsley, that's it. That's it. Mark Davis looks like Pugsley. Ow. Who's the owner of the Raiders? Pugsley. The owner of the Raiders looks like Pugsley on the Addams Family. Hey, great haircut, guy. Not that I should talk any, but holy cow. At least I look like a guy. At least I look like a man. This guy looks like he said like a 10-year-old guy who just woke up out of a 50-year-old nap. Hey, Pugsley, can you do me a favor? Who are you drafting in the third round? Hey, I should probably change this now. But I will change this. I've lined up because I saw Ross Tucker's list, and I put a list together of the top 32 NFL head coaches. And here's my list. I'm going to go from 32 up. And I start at 32 with a man that sold out the meanest fan base, the toughest fan base in the NFL, the Eagle fan base. Jonathan, I mean, if there's a guy that has a hit on him, he might be it. Because there's some dude in Philly going, I'm going to tell you something here. If I see that guy, I'm going to have a problem with him. Hoss, you better be careful if you roll into Lincoln Financial. I don't know why my eyes ain't winking, but I'm going to have a problem with your ass. You sold us out? I might have a problem with you, Junior. Hey, make sure when you get in your car, and if it don't start initially, if I were you, I'd get out of the car. Because if you hear it click, you might want to get out. Not that I know. Just saying. Hey, here's Jonathan Gannon leaving Lincoln Financial. Jesus Christ, is that Luca Brasi standing next to my car? Is that Luca Brasi? All right. Number 31. I've got the greatness of Josh McDaniels. Holy cow. Hey, it just shows you here. So wait a minute. Josh McDaniels gets 2 opportunities to be a head football coach in the NFL, and Eric Bieniemy can't get one. I wonder why. Oh, I don't know. Good grief. I got Arthur Smith at number 30. I don't think he's that horrible, but he's got to start winning. So I put him there. Hey, man, this is sad, but I got to put Todd Bowles at number 29. Head coach of the Bucs. The greatness of Shane Steichen. That's that's John McMullen's favorite play caller in the NFL. Shane Steichen, number 28. Number 27, I got Brandon Staley. LA Chargers. I don't get that. I don't get it. Greatest play caller of all time. What play did he call, Don? What play did he call that you went, wow? What was the play that he called? Can you guys remember? Name me one play Shane Steichen called that you went, wow. One play. I'll take one. Jonathan Gannon is Fredo. That is hilarious. Who's the head football coach of the Arizona Cardinals? It's Fredo. Fredo, I know it was you. Oh, my God, is that appropriate? QB draw. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough, man. Yes, sir. That's right. The quarterback draw. Okay. Are you 100% sure that was Jeff Stoutland that came up with that? Are you 100% sure it was Shane Steichen and it wasn't Jeff Stoutland? You're 100% sure on that? Okay. Fredo's the head coach of Arizona. Take of the day. I got Dennis Allen, number 26. Here's another guy. How do you get a job how do you give a job to that guy? He sucks. He sucks, man. DeMeco Ryans at 25 only because he hasn't done it. I wish nothing but great success for him there. Matt Eberflus. I will never remember that guy's name at the end of this year, that'll be the end of him. It's Chicago. Matt Eberflus. Matt Nagy. They like their Matts there, don't they? Hey, hey, Matt Eberflus. Good luck to you, kid. Number 23, I got the Jets head coach. I think he's done a good job on defense. Okay, Robert Saleh. I don't know. He'll be back to being a DC soon. I wouldn't mind him in Philly. Number 22, former NFL Coach of the Year. I got Kevin Stefanski at 22. I got the guy McDaniel at 21, the head football coach of the Miami Dolphins. I like him. Number 20, Matt LaFleur. Dude, I don't think you're as good as you think you are. We're going to find out with Jordan Love. So the Packers go from Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, to Jordan Love. I don't know. I'm not sure I see the bridge. Dude, what happened to the bridge? Well, I think the middle of the Oakland Bay Bridge just broke. I don't know, man. There must have been an earthquake. I don't see it, kid. Matt LaFleur, with his great decision-making and the way his time management is going into the half and the way he likes to go for it on third down. Oh, wait, he didn't. Oh, man. 19, the guy in Minnesota, O'Connell. I like him too. I think he's an up. I mean, you know what? I never thought I would say this because I really liked what Coach Zimmer did up there. I think this guy's been an upgrade. I like him. I got my boy Frank Reich at 18. These are the top 32 coaches in the NFL. I had to do it because Ross Tucker had some bogus list. At 17, Dan Campbell. I like what Coach Campbell. Hey, I'm going to do something. I don't know if you guys ever watched the movie Lincoln. And one of the senators go like this about Lincoln, because you got to remember something. Lincoln wasn't a very good president in his first term. He became a sensational president in his second term. And he was spectacular. And the one guy goes like this. He goes, have you not been surprised? Have you not been surprised by Lincoln? And the other guy's hatred for the guy, they couldn't see through the forest and they didn't give a shit. But have you not been surprised by Dan Campbell? I've been surprised. And I like it. I've been surprised. Okay? And you know, he's in the top 20. I've been surprised. I got Ron Rivera at 16. Ron's a good coach. Okay? Carolina, he did nice things. I think he's a great D coordinator. Washington is a sewer. We'll see what happens with Josh Harris, the great business mind / runner of sports teams. Because every one of his sports teams have turned out to be, hey, one thing you could say about Stan Kroenke, hey, what was the name of that owner that owned the Tampa Bay Lightning and owned the Pistons? And he won a Stanley Cup and an NBA championship in the same season. I can't think of that guy's name. What was that dude's name? Owned the Pistons and he owned the Lightning. And they won a title in the same year. Oh, I forget that guy's name. But look at what Kroenke's doing. Kroenke's got the Rams, just won a Super Bowl a couple of years ago. The Avalanche, the Nuggets now. Dude. Bill Davidson, thank you, Tony. Boom, Tony. Come through for me, Tony. Bill Davidson, that's right. Bill Davidson owned the Pistons and he owned the Tampa Bay Lightning. And they won the Cup and the NBA title all in the same season. And I got a picture of Big Sills with the cup on my Twitter page at Dan Sileo Show. You'll love it. It's kind of blurry, but it was in my studio. They brought the cup in. And I was one of the very few guys that got to raise it above my head. Yeah, and I had to put the gloves on and shit. It was stupid, but it was all good. I got Zach Taylor. How about Zach Taylor, another guy I've been pleasantly surprised by? You know, Cincinnati? I don't know. You got Joe Burrow. that helps. I see. Ross has Brian Dable like in the top 10. I got him at 13. Dude, you got 1 year. That don't make you a great coach in the NFL. 1 year? How many people think Brian Dable's a top 5 NFL coach? Boy, do not. I do not think Brian Dable. I think Brian Dable had a great start to his coaching career. To sit there and go, Brian Dable's a great coach? Let's see it this year. There's not a chance in hell he's a top 10 guy. Now, tell me if you think this is fair. I got Nick Sirianni 12th. And I got him ranked behind Mike McCarthy. Okay? I got McCarthy 11th and Sirianni 12th. And the only reason that I have Mike McCarthy ranked ahead of him, he's done more. He's been more successful. And like I said in the second hour, we're going to find out what kind of coach Mike McCarthy is. He's the play caller. He had Favre and Rodgers, won a lot of games. 13 years he had those guys in Green Bay. Well, now he's the play caller. Now he's going to have a lot on the line here because we're going to find out if he's good or not. Okay? We're going to find out if he's good or not. But his resume, he's got the same resume as Sean Payton. And his guys won a Super Bowl. He's one of the here, let me circle the guys who have won Super Bowls before I continue. Because now we're going to do the top 10. Let me see Super Bowls. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's only 8 guys in the league right now of the 32 head coaches that have won Super Bowls. By the way, I see our internet's banging in there a little bit. Please hang in there with us. We appreciate it. Here's the top 10 now. Here's the top 10. You know what? Hey, Tone, let's take a time out and see if we can get this bad puppy back here. Actually, it's starting to come back. We're good. Starting to come back here a little bit. So there we go. We're good. Let's do the top 10 now. So, hey, did you guys have a problem with me having Sirianni 12th? Ross Tucker had him like 6th. I'm like, you think Nick Sirianni's a better head coach than John Harbaugh, Mike Vrabel, Doug Peterson, Sean McVay, Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, Belichick, and Reed and them guys? Do you really think he's better than those guys? Come on, man. At 10, I got Sean McDermott. Buffalo Bills. He's changed that entire culture around. By the way, at 14, I had Kyle Shanahan. I don't know if I said that because I don't believe I said that. I have Kyle Shanahan at 14. I don't think Kyle Shanahan is worth. He has Kyle Shanahan in his top 10 also. I don't see that. So my 10 are Sean McDermott, Buffalo. I got Mike Vrabel at 9, Tennessee. I got John Harbaugh at 8, Baltimore. I got Sean Payton at 7, Denver. I got Doug Peterson, 6, at Jacksonville. Here's the top 5 now. I got Sean McVay, Rams, 5. Pete Carroll, Seattle, 4. Mike Tomlin, 3, Pittsburgh. Bill Belichick, New England, 2. And I got Andy Reid, number 1. Ross Tucker has Sirianni in the top 5 over McVay, Carroll, Tomlin, Belichick, and Reid. Look, guy, I know you work for him in the offseason, but come on, man. I mean, come on, man. Why is Tomlin 3? Super Bowl winner. Never had a losing season in his 17 years in Pittsburgh. Never had a losing season. I mean, so like, who do you think? I mean, do I think Mike Tomlin was better than Pete Carroll? Do I think Mike Tomlin's better than Sean McVay? I do. Do I think Mike Tomlin's better than Doug Peterson? I do. Do I think Mike Tomlin's better than Sean Payton? I do. Do I think Mike Tomlin is better than John Harbaugh? Probably. Probably. Okay. Probably. So where's Sirianni in this whole thing where how we view him? How do we look at Nick Sirianni as a coach in the NFL? Does he have a lot of say? Does he not have a lot of say? Some of these coaches have a shitload of say. I would say this to you. Coaches with the most power, that's a great topic. Coaches with the most power, Belichick is 1. Reed is 2. Carroll's 3. Peyton's 4. I would say Shanahan, 5. I would say Peterson, 6. McVay, 7th. Harbaugh, 8th. Tomlin, 9. McDermott, 10. Dable, 11. Vrabel, 12. It might be higher. That's pretty much it. And here you got these two guys. Who's got the most say in the building? Mike McCarthy or Nick Sirianni? I don't know if any of them do. Which divisions do you think has the best coaches? That's Tone. What division do you think has the best coaches? NFC West has Carroll, McVay, Shanahan, Gannon. The AFC East has McDermott, Belichick, Robert Saleh, and the young kid in Miami. The NFC East has McCarthy, Sirianni, Rivera, Dable. AFC West has Reed, McDaniel, Peyton. I think it's the NFC West. I think it's the NFC West because you have Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Pete Carroll. Gannon brings the room down. But if you think about it, I mean, those 3 coaches have all been to Super Bowls. And 2 of them have won it. I would probably say the NFC West has some really great organizations and have some really great coaches in it. That's where I would go. All right. I want to get back. You know what? I'm sorry, but I've been distracted today. Can I tell you why I've been distracted? Dude, I think this DeAndre Hopkins thing is too much just to keep just not going back to it here. I mean it, man. So, how much money would you offer him? Would you give him the $13 million that you have that's left on your cap? No. Jesus, I'm not distracted by No. It's this Hopkins thing. Because if you go back and you listen to what Philly 500 said, This is like an all-pro team. Dude, this is the difference right here between beating Kansas City. You would never get the ball back. You wouldn't have to worry about your defense. Look, don't you agree with this? If we have so many question marks on defense, overload the offense. Like they used to in New England. Overload it. Put as many great players as you can on it. Go on 10-play drives. Keep your defense off the field. Nobody is going to stop that offense. And here's the thing with Hopkins again, like we said in the first hour. Guys, you lose one of your pass catchers, unlike last year when you lost Goddard. Hey, do we not agree when Goddard got banged up and then Jalen got banged up, that offense kind of wobbled? Dude, if you lose Devontae Smith or you lose AJ and you still have DeAndre Hopkins and you have Devontae Smith or you have AJ, you're going to win a boatload of games still. And you're not going to miss a beat. You have those three guys on the field at one time. You know, and people have made this. Well, you know, there's not enough footballs to go around. How about this? Isn't this a better comment to that? There's not enough footballs to go around for all those players. I don't think you have enough good players on defense to cover them. What's more important? Well, there's just not going to be enough footballs for these guys to catch. That's not the question. Do teams that we play have enough defenders to cover those guys? It's not about catches. Do you have enough personnel? Does New England have enough personnel in week 1 to cover all those players? The answer is no. Do you think Minnesota has enough in week 2 to cover all those players? No. It's not about the catches. It's about if you have enough people that can cover them. See, people are worried about Hopkins going, well, if he only gets 60 catches, that's the question. You'll be favored in every single game if you had Hopkins on the field, including the Jets, which you're not now. If the Eagles get D-Hop, Cowboys don't have enough to stop the attack. Isn't that the question? See, that to me is where I'm coming from. I'm not coming from appeasing the receiver. Dude, here, watch this. If you just lined up DeAndre Hopkins in the slot, whether he catches 1 or 2 passes a game, you got to account for him. That means you have to scheme up against him. You have to defend him. And do you actually think that the Cowboys, who did go out and get Stephon Gilmore, have 3 and they have a slot corner that could cover Hopkins? Let's put it out here this way. How many teams in the NFL have a slot cover corner that could cover DeAndre Hopkins? None? 1? 2? That's the angle you need to come at. Well, you know, there's just not enough footballs to go around. Well, don't come from the player's perspective. Come from the unit's perspective. And then look at it as a defensive coordinator. Look at it at that angle. And if this team is built by what Jalen Hurts has said, this is not about statistics here. This is about getting wins. That, to me, is where you have to come from. If the game is on the line, who should Jalen go to? Brown, Smith, Goddard, or Hopkins? It's a great question. Where am I on the field? Game's on the line. Am I in the 20? If I'm on the 20, going in, and it's the Super Bowl, and Hurts would have got the ball back, and I have Hopkins on my team, who am I going to? How about if I rank them? Let me rank them. You're on the 20 going in. It's Super Bowl 59. And you've got D-Hop, AJ, Goddard, and Devontae. Who are you throwing it to? You're at your opponent's 35 and you need a TD, 4th and 12. Okay, I've written it down.